and I got blamed. This is the country we really live in, where if you're an upper middle class white person, right, you commit a crime, you call the cops on the person that you committed the crime against. Seems pretty popular. There's a lot of people that they tell me their stories, and I tell them, hey, I'll help get your story out there, but I want you to tell it. Oh, Sean, I can't do that. I got stage fright, or whatever excuse it happens to be. Well, you can tell me. I can try telling the public, but they ain't gonna listen to me. That's because when I needed to be heard, nobody spoke up for me. I'm trying to speak up for a lot of people who don't know how to speak up for themselves. And of course, when I'm able to tell their own story, much more is the better. I'm not much for interviews. I'm not exactly a reporter. When I'm stressed the fuck out, holy shit, for me to stop and try to help somebody else does take a little bit of a change in gears. I'm out here in survival mode, and helping somebody else out, or myself, requires me pulling myself out of survival mode and neglecting myself. But I have to, because these words from these others are important. They show that these tactics are nationwide, that they are being used primarily against poor people, and that they are forcing us into permanent poverty. It's one of them fake cigarettes. Makes me cough. Not as bad as my tobacco pipe, but I guess worse at times. Anyway, I'm hoping Tamsin will be able to tell her story. We've tried it a few times. Last night was the third try. And I just keep butchering it. I mean, the first time I didn't really know what was going on, but we did a really good job, and by the end of it, my computer died because it wasn't plugged in. A lot of people, they want me to direct the conversation because it's my channel and I should get to be the director, and they're used to other people being the directors, and then I'm going, I don't want to direct your fucking story. That'll fuck it up. That'll get it all over the timeline, and your story will get lost. Casey Kirwan, she's used to be Casey Perry. That's Brooke Beardsley's daughter. She has a story to tell, and she calls me up and she tells me her story. And I try to share it the best I can because she's got stage fright. There was one day that she was gonna, but then she ended up, well, she got in a car accident within a couple of days of being born, and her mom died in that accident. And Casey has had a stent put in her brain as a result to help drain fluid because she was ejected from the vehicle only a couple of days old. The fact that she is alive is a fucking miracle. But trying to get her to tell her story is, a lot of people say, I think you'll do it better. And I tell them, hey, you should listen to my channel. I won't. There's the people who did the best on my channel, the people who were able to get the best possible outcome in their situations. They told their own stories. I directed it just a little bit. the thing is, when a situation gets out of control and out of hand, it becomes more complicated, and there's a lot more that goes into those complications at that point. Trying to find the other end here. Oh. Cool. I was checking out my... because one of them's got a metal tab and one of them's got a piece of tape around it. Now what's that got to do with any of these other people? Nothing. It was just something I looked down, all ADOS, and observed. Figured I'd say something. When it comes to autism, you know, you can't have an autistic kid without having to fear what's happening to Tamsin Bowles. Of course, Laura Nelson kept on bitching that she was afraid of such a thing. She's afraid. She's afraid. She's afraid. Well, you're allowed to be afraid. I'm not. You're allowed to be afraid, and my sister's not. You're allowed to be afraid, and these other people are not. We're all afraid, Laura Nelson. But we're not all selfish fucking cowards. You know goddamn well that by speaking up, you will be helping out all of us in the long run. You're not helping out your son by being silent. You're making things worse for me, and you're making things worse for him, because you are going to fucking die, Laura. You're not a spring chicken anymore. You're not 20 years old. You're not in great shape. You are not going to live forever, Laura. And because you didn't speak up when it made a difference, when you die, you know goddamn well your husband is not nearly as good with your son as you are, and your husband is not nearly as understanding as you are. If you and your husband both go at the same time, who's going to take your son? I mean, really, there's only two people that I'm aware of that are even capable. And neither of us are fucking capable. That'd be me and Nova Wilmuth. Nova Wilmuth works real well with Laura Nelson's son. I work real well with Laura Nelson's son. But everything that I had was taken from me, and I have no place of my own. Nova Wilmuth, I don't know what her situation is. I know what her situation was last time I was there, and yeah, there is not a lot of opportunity for anybody in that town. Nova's been working at that store since I was in high school almost. That's over 20 years. She's been a cash register or been a employee at the Chapel Superfoods. Steve. Anyway, I gotta get my happy ass down to the Fred Meyer and try to use the Starbucks there while they're open. Tamsin was going to get a hold of me at some point today. When she does get a hold of me, we'll see what happens. I got a phone number from area code 402. That's what woke me up. So I'm gonna try to take a look at that. I guess they left a message. It's 58 seconds long according to the notification. Anyway, it's good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Be ever vigilant. There are people like Fred Jr., one of the people who keeps making accounts to harass me. Or Ted Jr. He goes by that one as well. Nobody cares about harassment or threats or assaults against the disabled. Unless you are told to care. You were told to care about Elijah McClain by the media. You were told to hate me by the media. You were told Elijah McClain was the victim. You were told I was the predator. No matter what, you did everything in your power to look away and allow the evidence to be destroyed because you're pieces of shit. Not one of the people who called themselves my friend can count themselves as a friend. A real friend would care about your well-being, about the abuse that you're going through. A real friend would admit that they fucked up, that they were too busy talking about themselves. But then again, if they were a real friend, they wouldn't have been too busy talking about themselves, right? A lot of people, they want me to help tell their story. They've tried to get people to listen and it hasn't worked, and they think that my method might work. Tamsin got a hold of me because she wanted help. Somebody else had told her about my channel, and, well, when she reached out, tried. I'm still trying. Her words are important. Her experiences are important. And unlike Laura Nelson, Tamsin is actually doing something about it. I am thankful for Tamsin Bowles, as well as many others on here. There's a lot of people who offered to help that are alien conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of people who... Well, there's one lady, and her name is Stephanie, and she wanted to get her daughters back after they were stolen by the government. And she's one of the people that she got her daughters taken after she had reached out to me about the Natalie thing and said that she wanted to help, and that she wanted to... Well, it doesn't matter what she wanted to do. The reality is she got her kids took. The reality is she didn't help me at all. And then she got her kids took. So I did what I could to help out with the situation. And after she's got her kids back, that's when she gets back a hold of me and starts telling me about how she's been shot with a CIA brainwave ray. Yeah. Fuck. You know, the cops listen to people in this situation. Literally, people who think that aliens shoot them with brainwave rays. Because this lady wasn't the only one. And if it's not some brainwave ray, it's somebody who thinks that the aliens are coming down and building the pyramids and telling us what to do and controlling us through alien brainwaves and anal probes. Not literally the anal probes, but I put that part on there just so you guys get the fucking absurdity of this shit. How is that help? How is talking to me about fucking aliens help? How is telling me that you're getting shot by a fucking CIA brainwave ray, how is that helping me? How is talking over me to tell me about your alien goddamn experience help? And why the fuck is it that the cops will listen to you? You are obviously off your goddamn rocker. You are obviously so far from being attached to reality. How the hell is it even possible for somebody to listen to that? I'm not telling you that the CIA is shooting me in the fucking brain with waves. I'm not trying to pretend that this is some alien fucking conspiracy and the Illuminati is going to be inserting brainwave waves along with their rectal scanning device for the aliens. And of course, the Masons. We got to make sure we include every fucking conspiracy theory, don't we? I got to deal with the ones who think that it's aliens, the ones who think that it's the Masons, the ones who think that it's the Illuminati. Holy fucking Christ! No, it's selfish people. Natalie Bollinger was fucking embarrassed. It comes down to that. That's what all of this comes down to. Natalie was embarrassed because of situations that were beyond my control. I don't get to choose when my fucking car breaks down. I don't get to choose when people fucking wig out on a drug-induced goddamn psychosis. I don't get to choose when people's psychotic fucking parents want to pretend that I'm a bad person to my friends. Did any of those fucking people bother to find out what was going on? Any of them? No, not a goddamn one. Natalie knew what the fuck was going on. She could have spoke up. But no, she was a fucking coward. On the bright side, I'm not. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It's standing courage to stand in the face of it. One guy was writing about cavalry, right, as an infantryman during the Civil War. And so the cavalry is charging. And this guy survived it, obviously, or he would not have been able to write about it. So he's got the cavalry charging, and he's writing about how he's resolved himself to stone. That he's going to stand there and piss his pants before he will ever run. And then he adds that it wouldn't really make much of a difference because he was too petrified to run. Now, whether or not he actually pissed his pants, he doesn't say. But he says he'd rather pee his pants than run. Now, he's petrified out of fear, but he's already made the decision, knowing that he's going to be petrified of fear no matter what, that he's going to go out there and he's going to stand with everybody else. Knowing he was going to be petrified either way, he made himself petrified on the front lines. Now, some people want to know whether that was a Southern soldier or a Northern soldier. It doesn't matter. Whether you're from the South, whether you're from the North, you still have the same emotions as every other human being. You don't get a magic emotion that nobody else has because you're a racist Southerner. By the way, there's racist Northerners too. When it comes to my predators like Fred Jr., yeah, there's hundreds of them on here. And if I go to Fred Meyer, I can do something that I can't do on my telephone, which is remove them from this channel. I can remove them from this channel if it's a live feed and they're commenting on the live feed. But if they comment in the comments down below, no, I've been trying to fucking figure out how to erase that shit. Hide user on this channel. It's not erasing all of it. It just hides them from the channel. We don't need the hecklers. The channel is about helping people. Myself included. Anyway, We already did our ending for this video, but we'll do it again. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.